you guys. And I say that because you did that. You did that. Damien here got a gritty win. So those guys up here, get up. Yeah, I feel jolly right now. I feel pretty darn jolly.
Yo, what's up? It's Chris Sims. It's Chris Sims Unbuttoned. We're jolly too, Jim.
We're darn jolly.
We're talking football on a Monday morning. Here we are on YouTube, NBC Sports. So you know what's up, everybody. Connor Rogers is here.
Let's go.
Week 6, almost in the books. We got a doubleheader tonight that I'm actually very excited about.
Both games.
Yeah, I mean, both should be fun, right? I think if both are kind of, to me, pick-em type of games. We'll talk about that a little later. But Week 6, man. I don't know, we learned some things.
Right.
We're still in the dark or something. This is the time of the year where I start to look at it and go a little like, okay, I expect teams to separate.
Right.
This is the time where you go, wait, the teams that are upper echelons, right, those type of teams.
Upper echelons.
You would think this is where, okay, they can start to stack 4, maybe 3, 4 wins together and separate from the pack and then be 7-2 or 8-2 in a month from now. So we'll see where that goes. But again, I don't know if the picture's any clearer. I still have questions about a lot of teams is what I'm saying, and it's maybe not as clear as most years in the middle of October.
Well, because I think the teams you're referencing right now, it wasn't easy.
There's a problem
yesterday.
with everybody right now,
Yes.
I feel like. I think
Yes.
that's what I'm getting to.
Even
right?
those teams that are trying to kind of move into that territory. The Chargers won.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins didn't die easily.
No, so you're not like, oh, the Chargers are back and that looks great.
Right.
You know, the Bucs we know are great, but I'm like, man, there's a lot of injuries, so that could end to some losses and some underwhelming play. I'm just waiting to see. There's a little bit of that with everybody. I think we have questions about just about every team in football. Yep. I thought Detroit was the best team in the league. Of course,
Me too.
I underestimated their injuries in the secondary for sure. That's something I like when you pick games on a Wednesday night. You're like, I wish I wouldn't have gone all in, but they have questions as well. So, I guess what we're saying is we got some more inklings, but we don't really know quite yet.
No, the middle of the pack, it feels like it's just kind of shifting around different pieces a little bit each week. Everybody's trying to get to the top, but I think we have to start right there with the Chiefs and Lions because this game is a perfect example of, every time you want to say a team is at the top, they might get punched in the mouth a little bit and then fall a little down, but not too far down because, like you said, the Lions lost this game 30-17 to the Chiefs, but they're running out corners that are so far down their depth chart right now, which was the problem for them at the end of last year with their injuries on defense.
Right.
But, Chris, we also got another little reminder that when the Chiefs are rolling, they can do this to literally anybody, the best in the league. When it's Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, Spags on his absolute game.
Definitely.
That they can do this to anybody in the league on any given Sunday.
Yes. The Chiefs have been playing better football the last 3 weeks. I know they lost to the Jacksonville-Jaguars, but as we know, Jacksonville's pretty good. Chiefs made a crucial mistake on the down on the goal line, but still, the game was there to be had. So I think there are some things to look at with the Chiefs and go, 3-3, but with the state of the AFC and the trajectory they look at, you start to go, okay, all right, is there a possibility the Chiefs get back into the conversation as one of the top teams in the AFC? Absolutely. Like, no doubt about it. And I think last night you talk about all the things you said. Lions feeling good. Hey, we've played 4 weeks in a row of pretty dominant football, but then you got injuries, and then it's matched up against a team that's like, damn, We're one loss away from going 2-4. We're like the team that's in the Super Bowl every year. We're going to be 2-4. What? So that desperation aspect, I certainly think lit a fire under the ass of the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think it showed right from the get-go, right? Especially on the offensive side of the ball. You know me, I've been one that's kind of saying I think the Chiefs are transitioning from a defensive team kind of an offensive team again here right in front of our eyes. And I think they knew last night, hey, we're playing the Lions. We know they're good on offense. We're not sure we can stop them all game, so we're going to have to push the envelope on the offensive side of the ball. And I thought the Chiefs came out with really one of their more creative, most aggressive game plans I've seen them come out with yet this year. And, of course, Mahomes looked good, and they come up with the big victory because of that.
This was the game with Mahomes where you just had the total balance of him running and pushing the ball down the field.
Yeah.
It feels like at times he's done one or the other throughout some weeks. He was just tremendous last night.
Put the ball in his hands, like we've been saying, right? Let him do his thing. And then I think as they're doing that, slowly but surely, Isaiah Pacheco has looked a little better than me the last 2 weeks. He's got more pop in his legs. I know it's not huge stats. I'm just going to the look test. Like when he gets through a hole, I go, oh, that looks like the old Isaiah Pacheco. He bounces off somebody. He didn't quite look like that early in the year. And then, hey, this is the week Rashee Rice back. But Kelsey was involved, right? Pacheco had some moments. Mahomes, the leader, the ultimate leader, had everybody on their P's and Q's. And Hollywood had his moments. Juju had his moments. All their big players and big stars, the guys you expected to contribute in a game like that, they did. And I think that's what's encouraging for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And just the quick game for them, really just quick passes in general, under 2.5 seconds.
It was the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just wanted to hear that. Right?
Yeah. 14 of 15, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And passes under 2 seconds?
Under 2.5.
Yeah, under 2.5.
So he was just getting the ball out, and guys had room to run, it felt like, after every completion.
Exactly right.
And we know the speed that they have, especially at wide receiver specifically.
That's where I just think they got to continue to go in on that. Ride Mahomes in the short passing game. And I think it's just going to continue, like we always talk about, if you want to be a good unit on either side of the ball, you have to be elite at one thing. And with them, it's like, hey, they're kind of good at everything, but they're not elite at one thing. And I think they can be elite at what you're talking about right there. Throwing the ball under 2.5 seconds, get people to itch up towards the line of scrimmage, right? They get sick of getting 1,000 cuts by death. Yes. And then you take a shot down the field, and I think we're going to continue to see all of that grow as we go forward here. But, yeah, that was a big win. And you just can't say enough about their culture, I think, sometimes, too.
100%.
Right? You know, it's the knee-biting, kneecap-biting Detroit Lions. And the thing that I always think is underrated about the Chiefs is the Chiefs are like, hey, F you. We're physical, too.
They are.
We're not going to get pushed around. And I know they got pushed around in the Super Bowl against the Eagles a little bit, but that's about one of the few games in Patrick Mahomes' era that I ever remember them being pushed around. And, yeah, their physicality, their toughness, their game planning, their leadership, all of that kind of went to the forefront last night.
So the offense did its job, but the defense was another big story of this. I mean, look at Spags' unit in this. The Lions were under 100 rushing yards, which all you hear in Dan Campbell's pressers or post-game.
It's what I worried about with Kansas City.
He's like, we got to this rushing number, and we did, and that's his first thing he always says.
Because when they do that, it unlocks the vault of the rest of the offense.
But look when they didn't.
Yeah,
under 100 rushing yards, under 200 passing yards, 0 for 2 on fourth downs.
Yep.
It was tough sledding for the Lions all around in this one, and Spags' defense. What did you notice with Spags' defense this game? Because you said something interesting to me before we started recording.
Yeah, this is one where I'm interested to see and go back a little bit. But, yeah, just watching on TV, and we're here at NBC, and we got the sky cams and all that too, so I get to see all the angles, right? So I do like that. I think they came out in the game playing their normal man-to-man kind of aggressive style of football, and the Lions went right down the field, right? And I think that in itself, they were like, okay, all right, we can't do what we normally do here. We have to adjust a little bit. They kept linebackers on the field last night. That's what it felt like to me. I mean, I felt like I saw Leo Chenal, Tranquil, and Nick Bolton on the field a number of times where I go, you don't see that much with the Kansas City Chiefs. Then on top of that, I saw what I thought was more zone coverage from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
Right? Everybody knows right now Kansas City's famous for man, and they just tinker with some zone. We saw Malik Neighbors, right, when the Giants are getting ready to play him. We're going to get man, we're going to get blitz. Well, no, not always. They're willing to change it up if they feel like, this is a problem for us. And I think they changed it up quite nicely, it looked like. And, yeah, between finding ways to crowd the line of scrimmage with their linebackers and big people and then set hut and drop into zone coverages, I think caught Detroit by surprise a little bit, and it certainly seemed like a little bit more of a curveball. Now I go to you because I'm just going on the eye test, and now I go for you for the real numbers.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
I am, okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They were running zone coverage at almost an 85% rate in this game.
I don't remember them ever being like that.
No, I'll tell you straight up right now. So they ran cover 0 twice.
Right.
They ran normal cover 1 5 times. They ran cover 1 with a double twice.
Twice, right. They must have doubled like Amon-Ra in the slot or something like that. Right.
Listen to this. Yeah. They ran cover 3 22 times. Cover 3, 41% of the game, they just sat in cover 3.
That's crazy.
Which is a lost art in today's NFL.
It definitely is. I'm shocked. And they're just not a cover 3 team. But that, again, I think shows you that they were worried about the run. They were trying to get that there, but they knew they couldn't play man-to-man, especially with the great play-action passes, right? It's hard to play man-to-man sometimes because you're like, wait, I have the tight end, but I have the D-gap and run fit. Oh, no, they faked a run at the D-gap.
Yeah, I'm gonna step forward.
And I'm going to step forward. Oh, shit, there goes Laporta, right? And now it's something down the field that way. And that's where I think the zone came in handy, too. So cover 3, 41% of the time.
41%.
Man, see, that's where Spags is amazing. He's going to do whatever he's got to do to win the game. He's not Mr. This is what we do. This is what I do. This is how I coach it. No, you got to, what's your personnel? Who are you playing? And then you combine those two theories together to come up with your best chance to win a football game, and Spags is a master at that.
I have a feeling we'll revisit this game maybe during film this week. There's a good chance with how high-octane a matchup it was. The last thing, though, on this, when the clock ran 0.
Right. We got to talk about that.
Brian Branch and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Right.
I mean, Dan Campbell said after the game, and if you missed it, I mean, essentially
if you missed it, go back and watch. It's worth the watch.
Mahomes went to shake hands with Branch. Branch blew him off, which no one really, that happens
That's okay.
in the NFL.
Right,
Nobody cares about that.
Right.
Juju didn't seem pleased by that. Let him hear it. And Branch basically socked him. I watched it closely. It looked like he got through the face.
I think that's what made him bleed. I think that first initial punch
I think it was, too, because I thought it was after when helmets were off.
Right.
But then I looked at the first one. I'm like, oh, he got through the face mask, which is dangerous territory. To take a shot at someone in the postgame there might be a suspension over this.
I don't even think there's a doubt.
Right, they're
here.
almost you can't allow that.
Connor, this is the year of sportsmanship in the NFL. They're trying to show this. This is Brian Branch, a repeat offender of little things like this here. Not little things like this. Like after the game, it's definitely, like you said, it's a no-no. It's an unwritten rule of the NFL. You could do all that you want when it was the 60 minutes on the clock, right? But it's over now. No one's guard is up anymore. So, yeah, by the bylaws in the locker room in the NFL, that was a no-no. And then I think the NFL on top of that, with a sportsmanship year and everything we're talking about, they're going to go, wait, the biggest story about one of the biggest games we've had this year is really going to be about a post-game fight. And I think they're going to make an example. Like, I'm one that originally, when I saw it, and I was watching it, and like, my wife was next to me, and she was like, oh, my gosh, holy cow. Like, you heard Mike Tirico. It went beyond, like, your normal melee. This went on for, like, 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah. And then guys got up out of the pile, and haymakers were thrown. I mean, thrown. With people with no helmets on, haymakers were thrown, right? So I think there's going to be a lot of maybe suspensions, fines here. But Brian Branch, I would be worried that he loses more than one game here, honestly.
And they can't afford that right now.
Not with their secondary and their
They already have no corners.
Right. Now, let's dive into it a little more here. Brian Branch, what he did. First off, I don't think Juju was yelling at him. Okay. I think Juju was like, they kneeled, we won the game. Now he looks, right, from all the camera angles I've seen, he sees Brian Branch ignore Mahomes. I don't think he says anything to him there. I think he kind of gives him like the smile, like, yeah, we got you
Which
tonight.
is his personality.
Right, which is what he is.
Fine.
And Juju's a tough mofo, too.
I know.
So he's not one that's going to back down to Brian Branch. I mean, right? I mean, Juju is, let's not forget, in the old Steelers days against the Bengals and Vontae's perfect, and he doesn't back down from anybody, right? He was a safety. That's where he got recruited in college, is to play safety. So he's got that mentality. But I think he kind of like gave the grin to Brian Branch, like, yeah, we got you, and I got you on the field today a little bit.
And he did. Did you see that?
Well, yes, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it.
Yes.
But from that point, he just puts his hand out, and he's going to say good game. And then there comes the right open hand, right, jab to the face, like you said. And then it went crazy. I mean, the helmet being ripped off, Pacheco being on top of the pile, looking like he was trying to separate it, but maybe causing problems. At the very end, I don't know who it was, and I don't know maybe if we got it. We showed it on Pro Football Talk today. I don't know who this was. Haymakers thrown by somebody on Detroit as he got pulled off the pile. He was throwing him at Isaiah Pacheco. And then some big guy on the Chiefs who was not in uniform kind of bear hugged him and brought him to the ground. And so that was an unreal moment. Right? But that was about as big a fight. And, yeah, here we go. Like, you can watch it now. Keep watching this, Connor, and I'll kind of narrate it as we go because they're at the point now where they're trying to separate them. They're all on the ground. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted right here, Matt Casey. Yeah. So somebody's in a headlock. You see Mahomes there in the middle of the pile, what we're showing here, the 1 and the 5. He's in a tough spot, okay? And then as this continues to break, it gets up and you'll see more videos you go on where more punches are thrown. So that's where I'd say multiple people are going to get suspended here. And maybe you could figure out who it is at the very end.
That's what I'm curious of, is that exact pile. Because it is a giant scrum.
It's a giant
There's
pile.
bodies on the floor.
But if you let the camera go, and we showed it on NBC, you'll see they pull somebody out on Detroit, and he has no helmet on, and he throws a big-time haymaker at Isaiah Pacheco and lands, but Pacheco has his helmet on. So that wasn't a good look for the NFL.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I agree with you, though, watching Juju back.
No, you go back and watch you watch his.
Yeah,
he's just yelling at the sidelines, going like, "We won."
I think he just says, "Let's go," and flaps his arms.
He's not talking to him now. He's looking at him now.
And he did put his hand out to Branch.
Right.
And Branch, I mean, when someone walks up to you and they are looking to hit you in the face, like it's that kind of walk.
Exactly right.
He's got one thing on his mind, and he slugs him.
He wanted to get him back. Now, Brian Branch is mad because he felt like he was blocked in the back, or maybe a little late after the whistle earlier in the game. And what I would say is no. First off, it was not after the whistle. It definitely wasn't. The runner was still running when he gets knocked to the ground. Not even close.
This is with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the fourth if anyone wants to
watch it. And this is where I think, yes, exactly where it's set off. Now, Juju gets Brian Branch good. And Brian Branch, I can understand him being a little upset because he's like, wait, I'm 8 yards away from the play, and you crushed me. But Juju is also just playing football, and he knows it's Brian Branch who fills in the run game, and you don't know if the running back's about to cut back that way. And I don't think it was really a block in the back. I did not think it was. I didn't think it can constitute a penalty or anything like that. It was on the side. So Brian Branch, though, has obviously been out of shape. Brian Branch I love Brian Branch. You know me. I'm old school. I love the tear the head off type of guys.
He's
right?
a 90s kind of player.
Right. But that one crossed the line, and I wouldn't be shocked if Detroit gets out in front of this with what Dan Campbell said after the game and just goes, no. We're suspending him. We're going to take this into our own. Because Dan was pretty strong after, right?
He was.
We don't stand for this. He apologized to the Chiefs.
He opened with it.
I love Brian Branch, but what he did was totally unacceptable. We're not about that with the Detroit Lions. And I think Dan Campbell's the kind of coach that is strong enough to kind of say, hey, Brian Branch, we love you, but you're suspended by us. Forget what the NFL says. Right now, you're not playing for us for a week, and we'll go from there. And I think Brian Branch would probably understand. Brian Branch is in a spot where he's loved, and he's perfect fit for that team. I hope he doesn't, ruin this here because of this incident.
I'm sure we'll have more on this throughout the shows we have throughout the week. Let's go to the Bucs beating the 49ers 30-19. I mean, the Baker Mayfield MVP campaign is officially on, Chris. He's had a moment every single week, but it just feels like it's finally reached a point because of all of the reinforcements they've needed. They lose guys every single week. It was Emeka Egbuka this week. Baker just finds a way to get it done, Chris, whether it's through the air, but also with his legs.
He's amazing. He embodies the word MVP right now. I don't think it's really close. If you went through 6 weeks right now and go, who's the MVP? It's like, I don't know. Duh, it's Baker Mayfield, because the Buccaneers could be 1-5 if they didn't have Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you said it right, and I know they're a good football team, but they've been banged up. Offensive line injuries, receiver injuries, the secondary was banged up. That's just getting healthy. They few D linemen here and there, been in and out of the lineup. So, yeah, as far as the word MVP is considered, he is the guy right now. And, yesterday wasn't easy. What's amazing by them, and I think a lot of that 49ers defense, that. I mean, they don't make life easy on any football team. And they don't let up a lot of big plays. But it just feels like with the Buccaneers, it's just a matter of time before they start to strike downfield and push the ball that way. And it's like, okay, the 49ers held them in check for a little bit, but once the Bucs kind of figured out how they wanted to attack the 49ers, man, it's big plays, and not only just big plays, I mean, it's big plays in like the biggest moments.
Always.
And that's what's amazing.
Yes.
Right? We have some teams who make big plays, and I go, yeah, they make a big play, but then it's going to get to third down, and they're going to get sacked, and they're going to get out of the field goal range. Right? Green Bay Packers are a little like that right now. Where Tampa Bay, it's like, okay, yeah, they might have gone 3 and out. All right, now they need a drive. Oh, boom, 40-yard gain. Oh, touchdown. Oh, all right. Oh, it's the end of the half. They need another drive. Oh, boom, they hit it. Damn, touchdown, right? That's where they're amazing. The gotta-have-it moments, they're amazing.
I mean, the gotta-have-it moment was the 3rd and 14 run.
Right.
Where, look at the dots here on this run, Chris, from Baker. This had a 3.7% chance of being a first down,
I mean,
by the way.
He breaks tackles in the pocket like he's Justin Herbert, right? So, I mean, he's set hut. He's got it. You see the pressure coming. I mean, he's got people on him. He breaks the tackle. He runs to the left, breaks another tackle from Upton Stout, and then splits 2 defenders and reaches his arm out. And this is a guy that runs like 4.9. All right. I mean, and I'm like, I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. Like, I mean, he's not real fast, but he's quick, he's stronger and stouter as a human being than people realize.
He's like a fire hydrant.
He is. And he knows how to make people lean and move and get them just a little off balance to where he can break the tackle and get through. I mean, that was the play of the game. Because then that gave them the opportunity 2 plays later to throw the bomb to Tez Johnson, which was the moment you felt like, okay, Tampa's got this one in hand, or at least took the momentum from that point on.
And it feels like every time they lose someone, they find someone else that's ready to step up. And as you said, Tez Johnson is making plays now. The
Cameron Johnson shows up.
They just find people.
I was literally like, who is this guy? Cameron Johnson. What's going on here? Yes. So, that was a big win. The 49ers continue to, horrible injury to Fred Warner. They continue to hang in there. They can't run the ball. But, man, Shanahan is the master at getting people open over the middle of the field. It just doesn't matter who it is. It's like, oh, they missed this receiver. Oh, Ricky Pearsall. Oh, Ricky Pearsall's not it. Oh, they just signed Kendrick Bourne. Oh, he'll get 100 yards this week. I mean, that's where Shanahan's amazing. And I'm amazed with them just right now because they're having to ride the drop-back pass game so hard. It makes them less dangerous on offense, certainly, but still 4-2 with some of the injuries they've had to endure, their quarterback not being in there. I still think it's a positive thing for the 49ers.
Fred Warner only 8 snaps in this game before he unfortunately suffers a dislocated ankle that's going to cost him the season. He had played 132 of 133 games for the 49ers. Just an awful injury, and it showed because Baker was 8 of 9 for 144 yards, targeting the middle of the field. He also had a touchdown over the middle of the field. We talked about the run.
Yep.
So it's just he's one of those guys, Chris, that you take away from a defense, and there's just simply no way to replace him, especially in Robert Saleh's scheme, where that see-ball, get-ball linebacker it's pivotal. It matters so much.
I agreed. He's the quarterback of the defense. He's the emotional leader of the defense. Yeah. And to your point, he's the best linebacker in football. He's the best. We're all talking about him as he's the NFL Defensive Player of the Year right here up to this point. He's been everywhere. So, yeah, that stinks. For them to not have him and Nick Bosa in a year where we know they kept those guys while they're trying to kind of turn over the roster with other guys. So they needed them to kind of hold down the fort that way. So that's unfortunate. It really is. And, yeah, I don't know how that wouldn't be a letdown once you lose him. And, his ability to fill the hole in the run game and this thing that he's just most underrated is the point you brought up. He's so fast in the middle of the field where you, as a quarterback, think you have windows to throw a ball, and then it's like, oh, man, it didn't get in there. And it's like, well, it's Fred Warner. He's a freak of nature. He's got great instincts, let alone he's explosive as hell, too. So, yeah, that hurts them, certainly. And Shanahan and Salah are going to have to find more ways here to kind of make this machine continue to work. Mac Jones did some good things. He really did. Yeah. I'm not mad at the way Mac Jones plays. The 49er fans out there are going to go, oh, he threw 2 interceptions. The first interception, I'm not sure it was his fault. I'm not sure. The Bucs did some cool things on defense. Mac acted like somebody didn't run the right route because the Bucs looked like they were showing cover 3, and then they kind of played a half-field cover 2. And rules can adjust sometimes when that happens. So they got him there. And that gave a short field touchdown right off the bat to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The one late in the game, yeah, okay, I don't love that. But they're trying to push the envelope a little bit. They know they got to in that moment. And Jamel Dean made a really nice play, as he always does.
And that's a 4th and 5. So,
yeah, he's desperate. He's trying to push it a little bit.
The ball's got to be out. He made the wrong choice. It's going to happen. But he'd rather that than hold the ball. And I think it was sacked.
Do you think he had anybody open there on what you're looking at?
He could have waited for the underneath. I believe it was the tight end that was breaking underneath. But I don't even know if he gets to the sticks fully. It would have been close. He would have got there, but he had to throw the ball because the last thing you want to do is take a sack there.
The last thing you want to take a sack, too, and I think the other thing we got to talk about, because we kind of hit on the 49ers not being able to run the ball, they don't pass protect either. I wrote down multiple times here at one point in 2 different parts of the game. The Bucs D-line is whooping some ass. right? I mean, in the run game or Mac Jones having to get the ball out of his hands quickly. Either way, this is where you look at the Bucs. They're 5-1. They're one of the best teams in the NFC. They're going to have to deal with more injuries because of Emeka Egbuka being out. But you just go 5-1, winning games they should win, squeaking out some games maybe they shouldn't win, and they're not even at full strength. And that's where you just go, yeah, they're 5-1, and they're not even close to their full potential on the roster yet. So I think they're showing with this quarterback that they're going to be dangerous all year long.
And Jason Light, once again, he knows how to draft. My guy Jacob Parrish, the rookie corner, he had some moments as well. I loved him in last year's draft. He was just small.
Yeah,
that's what it comes. And Light is a guy that he will take guys that might not have elite traits, but he knows they can play.
His elite trait was that he got a rocket up his butt, and he'll throw his body around and tackle.
He doesn't care that he's 5'9".
And that's okay. You can have some guys like that in the secondary. You know, you can't be big everywhere.
Right.
And Antoine Winfield's a little like that. And we know how damn good he is, too.
So the Niners struggling to run this year in terms of efficiency. Maybe another topic that we could revisit during the film room because we're just not used to seeing that in a Shanahan offense. Another game here that was pretty high stakes where both of these teams are at. The Seahawks beat the Jaguars 20-12 in this game. Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith-Njigba, Chris, continue to have one of, if not the best connection in the 2025 NFL season. I really think it might be the best connection.
I think right now it's number
What's
one.
up against it?
It's the hottest thing there. I mean, maybe it was Baker and Emeka Egbuka. I mean,
them or before Puka got hurt, him and Stafford. But like the fact they're in this bucket right now,
it's amazing.
Incredible.
I think everybody, including producer Matt Casey, and I'm throwing him out there because he said this yesterday, and he's on the other end of right now. But I think a lot of people thought, man, Sam Darnold, that was a one-year wonder in Minnesota. This won't happen in Seattle.
Yeah.
Because I know he threw a few balls yesterday, and my friend Matt Casey was a little bit like, man, I mean, I guess Sam Darnold's just not going anywhere. He's going to play. Yeah. I was like, actually, I think he might fit this offense better than the offense in Minnesota, right?
Can you go quickly through some very minor differences between Kubiak and O'Connell?
Well, I think with this offense, as far as Kubiak, of course, it's more play action based, right? So it's that. It's a little bit more of like, hey, it's play action, come up, it's 1-2 to the check down. And it's just that's all there is to it. And if you can get the ball out of your hand quickly and come out of the play action fake, get your head around and process in a hurry, and then got the ability to get the ball out of your hand quickly and throw the ball accurate on intermediate routes, which I think Sam Darnold is amazing at, and he's getting better at the deeper throws as we sit here and watch too, that's the difference where, Minnesota, it's more of a true drop back system. You're going to be reading the field a little bit more that way. And, I think play action, get it out, move in the pocket, do something like that fits a little more for Sam Darnold. He's always been an incredible 5 to 15-yard thrower of the football. What he's showing this year is that more than ever, at least in my eyes, that he can hit the 30-plus yard throws on the regular as well. And I think that's what's awesome. In Seattle, another team we're talking about here that's 4-2. They haven't been healthy basically the whole year. They got issues.
Secondary, another team with a secondary.
Exactly.
It's always hurt.
And they're 4-2, and I just go, man, they got talent and potential. And you just go, wait, the defensive line was healthy yesterday, and to me, that was the story of the day. The D-line kicked the shit out of the Jacksonville Jaguars O-line.
50% pressure rate.
Was that right?
25 of 50 dropbacks.
That's incredible.
Literally flip a coin, and Trevor Lawrence would have someone in his face half the time.
It was all day. And at first I thought, I went, man, I saw Seattle a few times brought like a 5-man pressure. And I went, so maybe they're going like, our secondary's not good. Let's just pressure the quarterback and do that. But as I went back and watched more of the game and started to watch, I started to like see some of the sacks and all that. And I went, no, these are all 4-man rushes. Like with DeMarcus Lawrence back in the lineup, it changed their D-line a little bit. And we know they got some D tackles in the middle that can be a real pain in the ass. But on the edge, they get DeMarcus Lawrence playing like that. Watch out. But, I mean, it was, the second drive of the game for the Jaguars. They went down the field, and I wrote down, man, the Jaguars look really good. I wrote, Jags throwing the ball awesome right down the field. BTJ, Trevor Lawrence looks good. I mean, I don't say anything about their offense again until the fourth quarter. I mean, they didn't do anything until the late game drive that made it 20-12. But the Seahawks are the team that I look at to go, potential on the rise. Secondary gets healthy, right? I think the offensive line is getting better to where you go, Yeah, could they be the best team in the NFC West? I mean, yeah, they can be. And we've seen the Rams falter a little bit. I thought that was a pretty impressive win for Seattle on the road across the country yesterday.
So you're absolutely right about the blitz. They only blitz 13.5% of the time. That is extremely low.
That was amazing.
Incredibly low.
Right.
And even when they were pass blitzing, they actually ran a 4-man simulated pressure over 22% of the time.
They blitz one and drop one.
Exactly.
Right. So it was
That's
always
how
four for the most part.
So they had coverage and pressure.
Right.
One last note on Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
PFF does something called big-time throws. Basically, and I know people don't always love their grades, but they give quarterbacks a bigger grade for special throws.
Sure.
And it's one of their metrics I agree with the most.
That's
because
great.
I think that matters. The extra special.
Me. Right. That's a big time. Yes, it's a thing for sure.
He had 5 in this game, which is that's way above average. If you have 2 throughout the game, that's okay. You're making throws.
Right.
He had 5. 4 of them were under center. 3 of them were off play action.
Wow. There you go.
That's very, very impressive.
He fits that.
Yeah.
He can see it and get it out of his hand and hit the bullseye about as good as you're going to get in the NFL. That's one of his strengths and always has been. And that's why Shanahan and the 49ers liked him. And that's why Clint Kubiak's like, I saw you do this a little bit. Let's get him out here to Seattle and help us out. But, yeah, big win for Seattle there. I still like Jacksonville. I definitely do. I'm not mad about it. Jacksonville, to me, plays a little too aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. That's my only complaint with them. The offense, listen, it's going in the right direction. They played a good defense and a good defensive coach in Mike McDonald. The defense, they create turnovers. We know that. They lead the league in that. But at the same time, they let up a lot of plays and yards, too, in every game. And I think that's something that the D coordinator, Anthony Campanelli's got to find a little balance on. I know we want turnovers and create plays, but not if they're going to get 400 yards of offense and make a lot of big plays off of that. And that's where I think they got to tinker with some things as well.
Trading Geno Smith to sign Sam Darnold might be the best transaction of the offseason when we look back at it.
And there you go. That's just, again, like one where we all got to be careful and go, hey, sometimes the team knows what's best for them and what fits their system the best and all of that. Right, exactly right.
Our next game, the Chargers beat the Dolphins in a bit of a sweat here, Chris. The Dolphins made this one really interesting. It ends up being 29-27. Of course, the play of the game was Herbert to Ladd McConkey in crunch time. McConkey with one of the sickest cutbacks, and he's explosive when he can stick his foot in the ground and go. And it was a slow start to the year for him, but this was a hell of a moment.
Hell of a moment. I mean, big time play, and he's the one thing I think I undervalued about him coming out of Georgia is he's got more explosive ability that I gave him credit for, and he's a little bit bigger of a guy than you think too. But that was the play of the day, and set up by a good kick return. And then there he is, Justin Herbert. I mean, I heard Jim Harbaugh called him Hercules or something like that. I was sitting there going like, look at these guys like Robo-Cop. He's just like, get off me, and throws the ball. Incredible. That was a big win for the Chargers because they feel like they're trending in the wrong direction. And I don't know, just because they won, I don't think still I'm going to go, oh, they're going to upward trajectory.
Right.
I think I come away with the game still going, man, offensively, like explosive plays are hard for them. They still don't protect that well. I know they broke some big runs in the game yesterday, but the Dolphins' defense, as we know, is not good. Let's just be real here. It's one of the worst in football. So, but yet within all of that, being the worst in football, it's still work. Look at the drive chart for the Chargers. I mean, every drive is work to go down the field. I worry about that, and I worry about the same thing I think we talked about it last week. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
The front seven. I worry about like you saw yesterday. They can't pressure the quarterback with their front four, and they're not the best at stopping the run either unless they go all in on stopping the run. They don't have run stoppers. They're not that talented in the front seven. And I think that's where I'm a little concerned with the Chargers going forward. But either way, that was clutch and a big win for them.
So, big win for the Chargers, but maybe the biggest story coming out of this game was actually after the game. Mm-hmm. Let's hear from Tua, who questioned some leadership and some guys in that locker room.
I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that.
I mean, Chris, I don't think that's what you want to hear from your franchise quarterback. That's just my my sitting in the stands fan take here.
But that's,
Like,
I mean,
we're trying to find the guy who did this kind of feel. Like, he's the leadership, is he not? A big portion of it.
100%. That's first off, I mean, you're coming off a game where, yeah, you made the clutch drive in the fourth quarter and did all that. You threw 3 interceptions first off, right? So just be humble and be quiet. Why are you airing your dirty laundry out to the whole world? To now it's going to make the locker room more dysfunctional today and Wednesday and all of that, right? I thought Devin McCourty on Football Night in America last night crushed it in what he said, right? You're talking about leadership. You're the leader. You're the one with the C on your chest.
Yeah.
You're the one that's supposed to make sure stuff like that happens. And within that, what good is it doing telling everybody in the press about those problems? Keep it in-house. Deal with it yourself, leader. You got to confront somebody. Now, Mike McDaniel's got to answer questions. People are going to dig to figure out, and the people in the media are going to dig to find out who's the ones that have been late to the meetings. Right? Hey, can you tell me who do you think, people that have connections, right? With media members.
Chris?
Right. They're going to have to deal with all of that. So, like, that's just not cool. And he's done this a few times this year where he's aired out their dirty laundry publicly. And let me just say this. First off, player meetings. I played in the NFL 8 years. If you're having multiple player meetings in 1 year, there's a problem and it's falling on deaf ears.
Right.
Like, player meeting once. If it doesn't work, it ain't going to work. It's not like the second player meetings and be like, oh, now we get it. We're together as players now, right? Players meetings more times than not usually feel like the teacher's pets calling a meeting so I can give the teacher an apple and go, look what I'm doing, teacher. And that's a little of the vibes Tua gives off, okay? So there's that. Let me just say this too. I said this to Florio today. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? We probably had my 6 years there, 2 player team meetings. Both were, we're not playing good. We got to straighten stuff out. Well, if somebody was late to those meetings or not in there, Derek Brooks usually would have ran those meetings in Tampa Bay. If we were having a players only meeting and somebody wasn't in there yet, if they walked in a little late, he was going to deal with it. He might deal with it right there. If not, when the meeting's over, you're going to have to confront Derek Brooks. What I would also say is I don't think it would have got to that point. Derek Brooks is the captain and the leader of the team. If he called a players-only meeting and some of the players weren't in there, he was going to leave the freaking meeting and go get those players and bring them in the meeting room and go, what are you doing?
Right.
And they were going to be on notice. And then they're going to be like, damn, Brooks is on me. Rondé Barber, Simeon Rice are all looking at me. Oh, no, I better step in line. That's what a leader does. You don't go and tattletale to the public after, you didn't play the best game yourself and then try to almost look like you're blaming others too. It's not a good look. And yeah, I just they're in disarray down there in Miami right now.
It feels like they just need to, and they haven't done this in a long time. They need to press the reset button. I'm not just saying. I know all the attention goes to Mike McDaniel and Tua.
Right.
I mean, Chris Greer's been there a long time and had a lot of drafts and a lot of free agencies and a lot of money.
I think he should be the culprit number one.
My point is, you don't just do this by doing one move at the time.
No, I think you're probably
Tua's contract is what it is.
Right.
So you might, the next regime might have to have a year of Tua or whatever they want.
Yeah, well, he's got security to go throw everybody else under the bus.
It's a horrible look.
It's a horrible look.
Yeah.
It's a horrible look, and I saw one of those things on one of our comments.
K. Gemma said
Flores was right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're exactly right. This just in. This is exactly the kind of stuff that staff was complaining about behind the scenes about Tua. And so, yeah, that's why there has been issues down there. And that goes back to your Chris Greer thing of we're just going to do everything for Tua. The hell with the rest of the team. I'm going to justify that I made him that high pick in front of Justin Herbert, and I'm going to make sure that looks good. And I might have to sacrifice the team, but Tua's going to look good. And that's what it feels like down in Miami at times.
That is called compounding a mistake.
Right.
It just keeps happening.
Right.
The Colts beat the Cardinals 31-27. Jacoby Brissett did his best in this one, Chris, to keep Arizona in it. I think the Colts are one of the best teams in football.
Yeah.
And I've been like, man, the Cardinals just feel kind of fraudulent.
Right.
This might have been their most impressive game of the season to me in a game they didn't even win.
Yeah. Well, a little bit like, we talk about the first game of the rundown here, the Lions-Chiefs. You got one team that was like, man, we came off a bad loss last week. We're desperate. We need to win. The Colts kind of going, it's Arizona without Kyler Murray coming to town. We should be able to handle business. I don't think they played their best ball. And I think, the Cardinals were edgy. As much as I want to talk about the Colts, and we'll get there, because the Colts, their offense is awesome, and they can beat you in so many ways, right? I think what we have to question about the Colts as we go forward is the defense, is just how good it's going to be, right? The defense is good. It's kind of been playing a bend, don't break style of defense. You get yards, but they make you kick a field goal. You get yards, they make you kick a field goal. And then you look up and you go, whoa, their offense went down and got yards and got 2 touchdowns, and we're down 14-6, and we kind of felt like we're playing even with them, right? That's where the Colts are pretty good. But their defense could not get off the field yesterday, and Jacoby Brissett diced them up. And I also want to say on top of that, like, does that not put Kyler Murray on notice a little bit? That was the best pocket passing performance we've seen in Arizona in a while. Marvin Harrison Jr. made comments before the game about, like, Jacoby Brissett and how excited he was.
His smile, I've never seen him smile like that before.
And, like, alluding to he has, like, a big connection with Jacoby Brissett. And again, those are some of the flaws with Kyler Murray is, standing in the pocket collapsing, throwing the ball into tight windows in the middle of the field in certain areas. Those are not things he thrives on. And Kyler Murray hasn't been making those magical plays like we are used to seeing him too. So if you're not going to do that and then you're not going to capitalize in the pocket, I got questions. And Jacoby Brissett stood in there and made a lot of big throws yesterday, even without Marvin Harrison Jr., who went out with the concussion. But all in all, the Colts find ways to get it done, and their offense just puts so much pressure on whoever they're playing because it's almost like you're playing Detroit. You know you got to answer. You know Shane Steichen's going to have something for you, and then, of course, they got the talent to back it up too.
It just feels like the sign of a good team when they clearly weren't at their best. And the other team had a little extra shot in the arm. Like, it was clear Arizona had a little extra juice yesterday. The Colts still find a way on what's been an awesome season. Did you think it was a PI at the end of the game? Yeah, but I'm one of the people that, like, I like less PI called in football, so I won't be the person to be like, you have to call that all the time. I wish they let guys play more in coverage. I really miss 20 years ago when you could actually cover people. You're not running around like it's a flag tournament.
I agree.
But probably
the defense gets screwed all the time.
Right. So the problem is, if I'm going to sit here and talk about consistency,
that's the problem.
It probably needs to be called.
That's the point. I err with you. I would like to never see those kind of penalties called. But my problem with that is just that if that was the second or third quarter, it's called 100 out of 100 times. But then we get to the end of the game, and it's like,
right.
I'm going to swallow the whistle.
We don't want this to be the story.
I don't want this to be the story. And it's like, no. If that was 3 minutes ago, it's a pass interference 100% of the time. If there was 7 minutes left in the game, it's pass interference 100% of the time. But all of a sudden, the last play of the game, we're going to change the rules. That's what I don't love. And that's what that stinks a little bit. But either way, I was glad to see the Colts win that one.
All right, we're going to take our first quick break here. Up next, the Cowboys did not buckle up despite being warned by Uncle Rico.
Run defense, baby.
And the Jets made history again, in a bad way again. We're asking you, and it is what it is, in the comment section. At least I got up at 5 a.m. to cover the game. We're asking you in the comment section for your Jets headline suggestions. Please leave them for us. We'll read them. We're back right after this.
Was this kind of like a message?
Oh, for sure. They got to buckle up. I think they know for sure.
Rico, if your message last week was buckle up to the Cowboys, what's your message after the game?
They weren't buckled up. Yeah.
Oh, man. It's time for Gimme the Headlines, presented by Hyundai. That was Rico Dowdle. He warned him, Chris.
He warned him, and you could tell even after the game, he's still a little bitter about it.
He is.
He's like, well, why didn't you keep me? Like, do you not see that I'm pretty damn good? And you guys don't have that many good running backs there in Dallas. Why wouldn't you have kept him? Right? So that was good. That was a great story. I always love seeing a player kind of get the last laugh.
Yep. Panthers upset the Cowboys 30-27 in what's the headline here?
Oh, well,
I think there's a couple options.
There is. It's Rico's revenge while Rico was being suave. That's what is happening.
There it is.
Rico Suave gets Rico's revenge. I mean, yes, he's the story of the game. The Carolina Panthers, their offense being dominant. Did you hear that? Carolina Panthers offense being dominant. I haven't said those words since Jake Delhomme was the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Or maybe Cam Newton, I should say.
Erasure,
Sorry.
but
Sorry about that. Sorry, Cam. I definitely haven't seen that or said that since Cam Newton was the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. But I think with the Carolina Panthers, we know it starts with their running game, obviously. And their O-line is special. Their O-line can move just about anybody in football around.
They dominate.
They dominate, right. And they're not always like crazy creative. And sometimes it's just like, we're just going to come off the ball, double teams, and our guy will pick the right hole and see you later. But they had their way against, a team that we know can move the ball. Dallas's offense was fun to watch yesterday too. I mean, they have to score 30 every game or they can't win. That's apparent. But, yeah, it's the players on the Cowboys are overrated. The scheme's not helping them out very much either. Bryce Young's getting more comfortable playing quarterback. He makes a few plays every game. Threw the interception in the game yesterday, but it wasn't his fault. Teteria McMillan should have caught the ball. It was a slant route that popped up in the air. Other than that, he made the right plays that way. So, yeah, good win for Carolina Panthers. And, yeah, good for Rico, and that run game is definitely one of the best in football.
I think what's crazy, too, when you look at the run game right now, they have multiple offensive linemen that are hurt.
Yeah, they're not even totally full strength right now.
So they're just, like you said, kind of out-scheming, but really just they're bullying.
They're
teams.
Bullying.
You could do that to Dallas, like you said. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Dallas is not big enough. Their linebacker play is not good enough. I don't think their safeties are all that in a bag of chips either. So, and then, it doesn't look like schematically they know exactly what they're doing at times with run fits and coverage and busted coverages and all of that. It's just Dak Prescott's playing about as good as anybody in football. It's him and the receivers trying to make it all happen. It's all on them, right? So we'll see where this goes, but George Pickens was phenomenal once again.
He's going to get paid.
Superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, him and CeeDee Lamb, when they get back together, that's going to be unbelievable watching them together. But, yeah, that Dallas defense and, trading Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark and making comments like we did it because we got to stop the run and you're the worst run-stopping defense in football or the third worst, not a good look for the Cowboys.
No, not at all. It was a tough one for the Cowboys front seven all around. The next one here, Chris, the Patriots continue their winning ways in the Mike Vrabel era. They beat the Saints 25-19. What do you got for this one?
Hey, I just met you. But call me maybe.
There it is.
Call me maybe. That's right. We're going to little pop charts there. We had a bunch ready because I come up with these a little bit back in the viewing room and Pete
test them out
I
your
test
audience.
them out. We say them to everybody.
Yeah,
sometimes they laugh. Right. Sometimes I go, you shouldn't have laughed, or we're too old in here. Nobody's going to get that except us old people here. Right. So all of that. But blown out of the water by Drake May and what we've seen, really. I mean, every week it gets better and better, and here we are 2 games in a row where it's like, no, the Patriots won the game because of Drake May. I mean, Drake May is making plays that is carrying the offense and putting them above and beyond in a game to get the ball in the end zone. I think that's what I'm impressed by. His ability to throw the ball down the field, his ability to extend plays, his ability to run are, we said last week, very Josh Allen-like. Might do it a little different way, might look a little different, but it's still getting the same type of results, and I think that's what's amazing right now.
So the Patriots, they're kind of rolling right now, and there was a lot of bad calls or lack thereof calls in this game too that didn't go on their way, and they still held on.
There was a weird game. I felt like it was a weird day in reffing, really 2 weeks in a row here. But you know, the other aspect too is the Saints I think are a little more talented than maybe I gave them credit for, right? And you see, I mean, Spencer Rattler played good. Spencer Rattler. You give him time with those receivers they got in the outside. I don't care if you got Carlton Davis or Christian Gonzalez or not. They're going to be hard covers man-to-man. And I know the Patriots are missing starting safety, right? So they had to play, Duggar, who's not the best in coverage. And that's where I would want to see a little bit. Did they have to change what they do in the secondary a little bit because of the injuries? I don't know. But, man, Josh McDaniels has got Drake May in a place right now where you just go, watch out. Right? Vrabel knows how to manage the overall game. Josh knows how to manage the quarterback and the offense. And they got Drake May believing in themselves. And one of the things I said at halftime last night for Drake May to me is his presence or his feel in the pocket. Like last year, and you see here is his passing chart. There's the big touchdowns, the blue lines down the field. Everything else is to what I was talking about. It's short to intermediate. Josh McDaniels managing the quarterback and the offense and then going, now's the time to take a shot. Now's the time to do that. Or it's a play where Drake May just extends the play and he goes, wait, somebody's deep. I'm going to make a play and give him a shot down the field. But like Drake May, okay, last year it would have been the feet all over the place. If nobody's open, it was look at the rush. Oh, no, what do I do? Feet all over the place. Oh, wait, nobody's open. Float into the rush sometimes. You'd go like, wait, where are you going? Just stay there.
Right. He took some tough hits because of that last year.
Hits. Yeah. He'd hitch up too much, and he'd hitch up into pressure, right? First guy's not open. He'd leave the pocket sometimes, and you go, wait, the pocket's perfect. He was indecisive in throws last year where he'd start a throwing motion and stop and then try to throw again. You don't see any of that. And that's the Josh McDaniel effect. He's got this guy believing in what he is, and we're a big fan of you there, Cashless Prince. What up, homie?
He
How
said,
you doing?
big fan since Bleacher Report days. We appreciate that a lot. Can you talk a little about Drake May's throwing motion and how it's changed since last year?
Good. Yeah, that's. I mean, I was gonna almost try to break this down on the halftime show last night, but I think it's like a little too in the weeds for everybody
For the Sunday night crowd.
But his throwing motion. Last year into college, right? His feet would be like right next to each other, like he was Dorothy, like tapping his ruby red shoes together. Like that's not a position you want to be in as a quarterback, right? You hear quarterbacks all the time, keep a base, right? It limits your moving parts. If you're taking long strides, usually your upper body gets long with it, right? So that's why you want to do that. And it keeps you on the ball of your feet to be able to get the ball out quickly. So he's doing that better. And then the other thing on top is what I talked about, the segmented throws. He had times last year and in North Carolina would take the ball away, stop as the ball was down here, and then almost try to restart it and go from there. And then within that, not really get through the ball. And the ball would go high and go everywhere. And I don't see that this year. So now it's one smooth flowing motion. There's no hitch in his giddy up at all. And he's fearless in the pocket now, like doesn't feel anything around him. You could tell eyes are downfield. He knows where to go with the ball, and Josh McDaniels has rewired the robot there in a big way.
He looks like a totally different player, not just from year one, I think from summer, what they've already done from him.
Totally.
I think they got to camp and they're like, oh, we got some work to do here, and you're 100% right about his confidence. This one from Shiggy Diggy. Drake May rhymes with make play because that's all he does. We're all still waking up.
That
here,
sounds like Devin McCourty. Is that Devin McCourty talking?
He's got his burner account there.
Drake May. I mean, if he does anything, Devin McCourty's like, oh my gosh, Drake May. But I'm loving the Pats. I'm in on the Pats. I really am. One, I like the coaches. You know, I played for Josh McDaniels, so I have great respect for him. But I think the world of him as a coach. You know, I think the world of Vrabel.
Yep.
And I love a new story, new kid on the block. And Drake May, I know I wasn't one of the ones that was higher on him coming in the draft. I love that he's crapping all over me. Yeah. It's awesome to see. let alone the way they're playing. And the Patriots bouncing back from the Belichick era and everything like that, I think is all really cool. And, yeah, they're a playoff team, the New England Patriots.
As we said last week after the Buffalo, when the Patriots have a serious chance to get on a roll here,
Right.
and they start that by
Right.
or continue that by beating the Saints. All right, we asked for the chat's headlines for the Broncos win over the Jets.
Or I was going to put you on the spot here because it's your Jet football team. I wanted to know if you wanted to make anything. Do we got anything good from the chat?
So Grounded Jets is on here from Alex. We have Jets forgot to fuel from Chuck K.
Okay.
I actually, this isn't even a headline, but I like the point from Jags. The Cards and Jets have backup quarterbacks that are better pocket passers than their starters.
Well, that's
a problem.
That's a long headline.
Yes,
But,
Jags did say kamikaze Jets.
But we do like that. That is
okay.
correct.
We might have had it. From K. Gemma, Fields of Screams.
I like that a lot.
Instead of Fields of Dreams.
And this is a good one right here. Connor, how's your sanity right now? The other 31 fan bases are concerned.
I mean, you know what's
really good.
You know what's crazy?
We're all concerned about the Jets fan base.
What's crazy is you watch the game and 50 things drive you nuts. And then it gets worse in the postgame presser.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
Like Aaron
You're
Glenn,
not winning anything.
I know he's learning on the job.
Right.
But it's a fair question to ask him. Should you, or are you considering going to Tyrod Taylor?
Right.
My take was after the game, the Jets win this game.
I saw your take.
If they go to Tyrod Taylor
And
in the
I
second
couldn't
half.
agree with you
didn't
more.
need much. I just felt bad for the defense because they've had a bad year. They took it personal. They stepped up again. They played really well.
Best
Denver
game,
really
but did nothing.
did nothing.
Right.
And the thing is, Sean Payton, I think, got to the fourth quarter and all of a sudden knew, okay, we don't actually have to do much here. Punting back to them, and the Jets needed 25 yards for a field goal. And they knew they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
They knew they could not get it.
It's incredible.
With Justin Fields.
What was our headline? Let's just make that a
Fields of Screams.
Fields of Screams. I love that. That's definitely the winner right there.
Yes.
All right.
Nice
way to
job,
go.
K. Gemma.
Way to go, K.
Who's
Gemma.
always in the chat.
Yeah. All right. And here's Tommy Tedesco. I'm with you too, Connor. I said it this morning with Florio on PFT. If I'm the Jets, I'm changing the quarterback. It's the worst passing offense in football. It's really not close.
I was going to say, what's even?
It's
there's
not
nothing
close,
else.
right? He's the worst thrower of the football in all of the league. It's really not close. So inconsistencies, doesn't see the field well. He's got the ugliest motion in the sport. The elbow comes up, then he tries to rethrow it. He's another guy that's kind of segmented in his throw a little bit, right? That's never gotten out of it. But yeah, what can you hang your hat on right now? Like you said, we just needed like 3 or 4 throws and the game's over. But they can't hit anything. Kurt Warner tried to softly allude to it during the game.
And he was slowly losing his patience.
He was slowly losing
which
his
is
patience.
hard
I wish
for
he would
him
just
to
come
do.
out and said it and put it on a spotlight a little bit more. Like, it's okay to go, hey, the guy that's making $20 million a year is back here. You see this. We're seeing guys open with some of the views. You're like, that guy's open. Like, what's he doing? He's not even looking. He's looking at the rush too much. Yeah, I think Kurt Warner could have maybe pointed it out a little bit more, right? But yeah, there's misreads, looking at the rush too much, looking for greener pastures where I go, and this happened. I remember I said this in the preseason when they played Green Bay. He ran for that touchdown on the right side. I said there was a guy open on the left. He turned down the throw. Like him running for that's not realistic NFL's regular season type of stuff. Right? You can't turn down a throw and go, well, I'll find a better one. No, sometimes in the NFL, only one guy's open. And I think he's turning down throws because he doesn't trust where the ball's going to go. Like we saw on some of the out routes late in the game where it's like that should be a slam dunk completion to Garrett Wilson. The one at the end of the game.
He gets him killed.
He gets him killed
all the time.
The one at the end of the game, if he throws it on time and throws it accurate, it's going to be like he can catch the ball and run up the sideline.
And the Jets win the game.
And they're going to win the game. But instead, he waits too long and then throws it way behind him to where you can't even catch the ball, where I want to go, no. Like high-functioning quarterback, that ball's caught and turned up the sideline for another 15 yards, and the game is over. That's it. So that's what stink, and Tyrod Taylor would hit all those throws.
Yeah.
All of them. I don't have any doubt about that.
Remember when I told you I went to camp, and I was like, well, Tyrod threw much better today. And
all I heard through camp.
And everybody else I talked to that was there every day at camp said it was like that every day.
I know. That's what I heard. We've had those combos.
I think Aaron Glenn cost the Jets an upset win yesterday. A game they were a 7.5-point underdog, and they should have won.
They should have won because Denver was another team at sleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
It felt like they were still celebrating their Eagles win and going, oh, we're just going to beat the Jets. First off, and then one more point on Fields. Like, you hold the ball. You're playing the team that sacks the quarterback more than anybody in football by a long shot.
9 yesterday.
Right. So you would think there'd be urgency to going into the game already to go, wait, I can't hold the ball against this crew. They're going to get after us. But having said all that, we said enough about the Jets. I'm sick of talking about them. They're not good. Just in, all right?
Yeah. I had no idea.
The Broncos, though, the D is real, as we see. They can do whatever they want for the most part. But the offense, I continue to worry. One, I know Sean Payton's awesome offensive genius. I'm not blown away by what I see on film schematically from Sean Payton. I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is like I do with some other guys that you hear me talk about where I go, man, Liam Cohn and Ben Johnson and Shanahan and McVay, they do some things every week where I'm like, whoa, that is awesome play. I don't even know what that is. I got to watch this a few times to figure out what they're reading, whatever. I don't get that sense. And then I will still stand by that. I feel like they're still missing one explosive player on the offensive side of the ball. It's just too much work. And if it's not Cortland Sutton, you're just kind of like, who's it going to be?
And he had nothing yesterday.
And nothing. And that's where you worry about it. So he disappeared. And this is what we talked about last week or maybe the week before. If he gets frozen out of the game, who is it going to be that? I know we have certain games against the middle class in the NFL that, Franklin will show up, RJR. But against really good football teams, we need somebody that was dependable all the time. And that's something I question. And I got to think the Broncos got to look for maybe a trade or something like that. Because I think their team is the real deal. That's the only piece they're missing. And I think they need it. I do.
They escape with the win with 9 sacks in this game.
9.
Take a listen to the game-sealing sack from Oliver Wilson of Westwood 1.
4th and 7 for Justin Fields and the New York offense. 2 points is all that is needed to tie this ball game up, but they need to convert from the 44-yard line. 1:14 to go. No timeouts remaining. 4th and 7 with the ball on the right hash mark as Fields takes a snap in the gun. Pressure coming again. They're going to get a hand on him as Fields tries to squirm away. But Jonathan Cooper, the first one there, to bring him down in the backfield once more. Brandon Jones, I think it was, arriving as the cavalry came to meet Fields. And that will surely do it now for New York's chances of any sort of victory. And 0-6 is calling for the Jets. And they just continue to have their wings clipped by this Denver Broncos defense.
Oliver Wilson.
I like it.
That's good.
Man,
good energy.
We need some more English accents on NFL football.
I agree. That was well done.
It really well.
He brought
was
the
well
energy
done.
for it.
He brought the energy. He had a few little phrases there that I was like, oh, that sounded good.
0-6 is calling.
Yeah.
That might have been the other headline. There you go.
You're right.
Yeah. London calling. No, 0-6 is calling. Fields of screams. I've had enough of the Jets as well. That was Gimme the Headlines presented by Hyundai. We got one more quick break. When we're back, we got to talk about this AFC North because it is a hot mess.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the Sportsbook app and use promo code PUNTER when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Let's take a look at the AFC North odds, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings.
Finally.
They are starting to finally wave the white flag on the Ravens.
I mean,
at 1-5.
I just was in shock. I mean, thank God.
You said it last week.
Yeah.
You're like, this is ridiculous.
Are we just going to bet on Lamar Jackson? That's it. That's all we're going to bet on? Forget the rest of the team. They're going to win the division just because of Lamar Jackson. I know he increases their chances, but, as we see, there's a lot of issues there in Baltimore right now.
Nothing sways odds like quarterbacks.
No, you're right. It is crazy, and we're too into that. But I do think we're sleeping on the Steelers a little. I like what I'm seeing from the Steelers. I do. One, yeah, their offense, I hope it gets a little more explosive.
Sure.
Right? But I do think running the ball is going in the right direction. I think their short passing game is a little bit of a extension of the run game anyways. Rodgers is going to take care of the ball. We talked about the Chiefs and having to be elite about things. Well, what happened yesterday? The Browns got sick of the dink and dunk throws by Aaron Rodgers, and then all of a sudden it's a few double moves by DK Metcalf. Yeah. And it's like, right? They don't need much. And I think their defense is continuing to get better here. They looked like they did some more creative things yesterday that I hadn't seen in other games. So, yeah, it's not perfect for the Steelers. But as a being 4-1, I feel like they're not quite getting the respect they probably should be getting right now. I think they're playing a little bit better football than the public's giving them credit for.
Yeah, and it feels like, Chris, as you just said, they're cleaning some things up that were a little bit of a problem the first couple of weeks. But they were finding ways to win some of those games the first couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Which is, in this division, that matters more than any other one right now.
Yeah.
I mean, because everybody is losing in this division, as we see from the chat here. That
it's Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg in the chat.
What
The
up,
media
Donnie?
saying Steelers are back today are overreacting. in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not saying, what are we saying they're back to? Are they back to being a dominant football team? Are they definitely one of the best teams in the AFC? No, I'm not that. But I'm just saying I'm seeing inklings to go, I think we need to stop sleeping on them a little bit. Right. First off, the AFC, there's no juggernaut right now that you just look at and go, oh, they're so dominant. Just about every team's got a little flaw here or there.
The Bills just lost to the Patriots.
Exactly right.
So that was the one that you'd look at and be like, they could be the juggernaut.
Exactly. We'd said the Colts, they got some good things, but there's some things there too, right? So all I'm saying is they deserve a little respect, Nani, and I think they are every bit worthy of being in this discussion of one of the better teams in the AFC. That's all I'm saying there.
What'd you see from Dylan Gabriel in this one?
A little bit of, I feel like the same stuff I saw. I don't love their offense to begin with. I don't look at it and go, oh, wow, it's crazy creative. But I don't see a lot that excites me. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. Not that he looks like he's overwhelmed or out of place, but do I sit there and look at it and go, ooh, starting quarterback and the future answer to your franchise? I don't see that. And again, I'm not about stats and the wins and all of that. We can go to Tennessee with Cam Ward. He doesn't look good and all that, but he still looks the part and makes a few throws every game where I just go, not many people can do that. Yeah, I worry about that with Dylan Gabriel a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's also about what they can't do on offense, right? Not what they are doing.
Right.
And unfortunately, with Dylan Gabriel, who, despite his size, I give him a lot of credit. He's probably going to be a backup in the NFL for a long time. I was pretty shocked when he went in the third round. That's not a hindsight take.
No.
Because third round is like, hey, you might develop into a starter for us.
Yeah, exactly right.
Day three, okay, maybe you're a backup. There's a big difference politically in the NFL.
I totally agree. And I think people in the draft process were – I was more like you. He would never be my quarterback. I'm just old school.
The days of me falling into that trap are behind me.
I'm done with that. I think his skills caught people. People were like, "Oh, whoa, he's faster than I thought. Oh, his arm's stronger than I thought." And I think they wiped away all the other stuff that went along with it. And you're like, no. But it's still plays under pressure in the pocket, seeing around big people. It's not working so far, and I haven't seen anything to say, "Oh, it's going to get close here." Right? And again, what big people can do so many times is make power throws without having to get their body involved in the throw, right? I'm big. I'm Drake May. I got people around me, but I got big hands and a long arm, and I can still throw the 20-yard out route without getting my whole body into it. Dylan Gabriel's not capable of that, and that's what you worry about, especially in the AFC North.
Our next game, the Packers beat the Bengals 27-18. Chris, feels like the Packers have had a lot of these games,
right?
Where you watch them and you're not they win.
Right.
You're not blown away.
Right.
They make some weird mistakes, but at the same time, they're kind of chugging along in the NFC.
Chugging along. Another team like I'd go, yeah, I'm disappointed by the Packers the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Based
Definitely.
on expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But they're still a team, like we'd say with Seattle or Detroit, where I go, I see potential of elite play here. I do see that. But I think to your point, and it's hard to put your finger on it.
I know, it's almost weird.
It's 400 yards of offense. But you know what I realize? It's a lot of empty yards. It's a lot of like, hey, we got a big play on this drive, but then we got down on fringe field goal territory, and we went backwards, and we had to punt the ball, right? It's a lot of that at times, where it's like there's still a consistency that's missing from them. They can make big plays. It was great to see their run game get going because they need that. That was, I thought one of the, if not the best performance of the year from Josh Jacobs and what he did there. And I know that's a really good defense they played, or not a good defense they played, excuse me. I was thinking of Cleveland for a second there. But all in all, yeah, there's just something about it that doesn't seem refined and consistent on the offensive side of the ball. And I'll say the same thing with the defense. Even though it was good yesterday, you just kind of kept waiting for like, all right, let's put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
somebody make a play. Stop them. And they kept dying these slow deaths from these long drives and getting dink and dunked by Bengals. You know what I want you to look up real quick if you can do this? Green Bay. Man-to-man coverage. How much are they playing it?
I'll tell you right now.
Because I don't think they can play man-to-man, and I think this is one of the issues of their football team.
Played quite a bit
Did
yesterday.
yesterday?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were in cover 1 27% of the time, which is like league averages. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, so they did. They did.
I don't think they have the corners to do that.
That's what I worry about.
Coming into the year, that was a consensus take that like Green Bay's really good.
Right.
Let's see how the secondary is though.
How about for the year so far? How much man have they been playing?
Yeah.
Because I can understand them maybe dabbling in some man because Cincinnati doesn't do a lot on offense. Even though they have weapons, they don't do a lot. And teams sometimes will go, yeah, even though they're weapons, we feel comfortable because they only run a certain amount of routes on the route tree. So we'll still play man even though it's Jamar Chase or whatever else.
So around 20-ish% of the time.
So, okay.
So that was actually high for them yesterday.
Right.
They went into the game playing more man against the Bengals.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I know. I think it's because of what I just said, though. I think it's the scheme of the Bengals. Everybody goes, it's a slant, it's a go route, it's a back shoulder. It's like that's kind of what they don't do a lot. And maybe that's what, at the end of the day. But 20% for the year. And where's that league average-wise right now?
I'll work on that.
Yeah, you'll
but
work on
while
that?
I do, a little bit better with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
I know he only had to hit like 48 hours.
But yeah, I mean, Flacco at least hits all the throws he's supposed to, and if he takes care of the football, he's going to give them a fighting chance. But yeah, I mean, those drives you saw, they were all Joe Flacco just kind of being surgical and kind of getting it done that way. Yeah, am I sitting here ready to go, oh, yeah, Cincinnati figured it out and they're going to ready to win some football games here? No, by no stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, so the highest right now, at least in terms of just cover 1, and obviously cover 0 factors into this, and 2-man, but the Browns are in cover 1 40% of the time. Right. For context.
Yeah,
so
I would think they're up there.
So the Packers are almost directly in the middle of
They're in
pack.
the middle of the pack. Okay. So then yesterday they went a little more all in on man-to-man.
Which I wonder if, like you said, teams are actually doing that against the Bengals.
I know. I don't think it's crazy, to think that. And, sometimes with a guy like Joe Flacco, you go, man, we play zones. He's just going to 5 yards here, 4 yards here, 5 yards here. He's going to do that to us, so you don't want to do that.
Our next one, the Rams beat the Ravens 17-3. This is one that you and I noticed, had the same exact thoughts on going into the week. This was one of your best bets.
Yes.
Rams -7.5.
Right.
For Fantasy Football Happy Hour, this was my pickup line best bet, Rams -7.5. I just think the Rams right now, what the state of the Ravens are so far away in every area right now. Like, Lamar can be a Superman for the offense, but they just don't have any answers right now, where I was surprised the spread wasn't even bigger.
Well, this was there to be had yesterday.
And that's the craziest part.
It was there to be had, right? I mean, this was a day where you went, man, the Rams aren't playing good football. The Ravens had moments of the game, like extended periods of time where you go, it feels like they're controlling the game a little bit here. I write in my notes, I'm going like, yeah, the Ravens are steamrolling the Rams at certain points of the football game. So, yeah, all of that is a little concerning. Now, we know the Ravens in their pass game, it's missing right now. And that's it's hard to live that way. But they played good enough to win the game yesterday. The end of the half, 2 QB, the tush pushes. I hated that crap.
Right.
I hate it.
Well, it's weird back-to-back with the tight end.
Back-to-back
That's
with a
like
tight end.
You try once.
After drives where we saw Derrick Henry just go carve them up the middle. Like, I just don't love that. So, yeah, I didn't understand that. And then there they were still in the competitive part of the football game, and Zay Flowers let them down. You know, with the fumble after the reception, and then you can blame Cooper Rush or Zay Flowers on the speed sweep reverse where they fumble the exchange, whatever. But, man, it's just Baltimore can't get out of their own way.
That's the larger issue, though.
It's the crazy.
Like you said, they were in position where you could see a scenario where they win this game, but that's the state of the team right now, that something always goes wrong, that they are in these where you look, oh, they lost 17-3. Oh, they got blown out.
Right.
Like, that's deeper than Lamar Jackson.
No, it's definitely deeper than Lamar Jackson. It is. It's concerning. All right. Everything about them is concerning. Their biggest players, like we always talk about, seem to be letting them up, letting them down in the biggest moments. So, yeah, that was there to be had. And yeah, the Rams win, but, man, you come away here a few weeks ago, and, man, the Rams are not playing very good football. I mean, first off, I know they missed some field goals, the chip shot field goals. That ruins some
30
things.
yards.
Right.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford in the pass game couldn't get off. We've seen everybody kind of get off on the Ravens that way. And I would have thought they would have even ran the ball better, too. I mean, it was a lackluster performance. And I know they stayed on the road, and they're staying out there this week and going to London, and maybe they're distracted by that. But, yeah, the Rams, as of the last 2 games, have not looked very impressive.
Our last game, the Raiders beat the Titans 20-10.
Yeah.
Not really. It just feels like the Titans struggled to put together 2 good quarters of football back-to-back.
Definitely.
I'm not talking about 4.
Yeah.
2 right now. It just feels like, and I agree with you, it's just you watch the games and it's like, it's not Cam Ward.
No.
It's so much deeper.
Cam Ward belongs. Cam Ward can do it. It's just he need help. I mean, they're a team where it's just like, yeah, if he can't throw to Calvin Ridley, who else even remotely are you scared of on that team? Van Jefferson? Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
No. I mean, so they have lack of support. They have an ordinary system behind them that way. They're not dominant enough to be able to run the ball because nobody's scared of them in the pass game. So people are just like, hey, we can stop Tony Pollard and Father Callahan's run game. So, and the Raiders defense is better than people realize. So that was tough. They ran the ball a little bit, and I thought for the most part, Geno played smarter football yesterday. The interception he threw was dumb. It was down there in the red zone in a moment of the game where you're just like, oh man, you just can't do that right there. But for the most part, it looked like we found more of a consistent, shorter to intermediate passing game along with the run game that Pete Carroll wanted. The Raiders aren't real good, but, they're going to beat teams like the Titans, who are one of the worst teams in football.
I think my last takeaway of the day is for the Titans right now, the main concern for me would be, amongst many with the team, J.C. Latham does not look good at right tackle.
Oh, I know.
And that would scare me with what you invested in him. And it's early. It's year 2. Playing offensive line is very hard in the NFL, especially against the Raiders.
Sometimes it takes year 3 to get there.
But yesterday was one of those days where I was like,
it was wow,
he's lost right now in pass pro.
Like,
we know how big he is in the run game.
I know.
I
wonder if he's going to end up being a guy that has to go to guard or something like that.
He might have to.
So you'll talk about that. Devin White deserves some love.
Yes.
Devin White, the linebacker, who's, felt like the league almost gave up on him.
Strange career. One of the stranger careers I've seen in a while.
Freak athlete who, I think if you just had undisciplined maybe in what he should do on the defensive side of the ball, the Raiders got him right. And, man, he had some plays yesterday. I mean, he really did. He popped. He had the interception, and I think maybe the strip, strip at one point.
2 turnovers.
Yeah, so that was cool to see. But, yeah, the Raiders, pain in the butt type of team, but I certainly don't see anything that makes me think they're going to, turn it around to become a playoff caliber team. Sorry about that.
All right, we did it every game.
Monday, boom, in the Bucs. Not every game, because there was this great game on Thursday night. The Ggggggggmen, yeah, baby. Yeah, well, we're gonna just give them some love. Shea Dart, I was there, and I gave it to the Eagles fans all night long. Just so you know, everybody out there, I gave it to them in a nice way. I didn't throw anything. I just yelled at them like you are supposed to as fans. Okay,
especially in a away stadium.
But that was fun and crazy because the game, just real quick, because I know we're ending.
That's okay.
But the game was. When it started, I went, oh, my gosh, are the Giants going to play defense like this? I mean, it was 5-man front. It was like, well, we're going to stop the run. We're going to leave receivers one-on-one on the outside. I was like, oh, my gosh. But they knew what they were doing. They hung in there. They didn't let Jalen Hurts run. They never let Saquon go. And they said, even though we give you some good looks in the pass game, we don't think you can consistently beat us with the pass game. And as we saw, they were correct. Correctamundo. It's definitely about that. And yes, the Eagles are definitely in disarray, and it's disappointing because the potential of that team's better than anybody in football. And the G-men with Jackson Dart and everybody, that was awesome to see.
Such a good comment from D. Sauter. Chris holding that mic awfully tight while talking about the Giants.
Yeah,
G-man. Like, wait a minute, we're not done.
Well, of course, I got a Jet guy and a Jet guy running it behind the scenes. They're like, yeah, forget about the other game this week. That's right. We don't want to talk about that. But yeah, big win for the Giants. I was glad to be there. That's my only game I can be. That's all I'll say about it, all right?
You did good.
Way to go, G-Men. All right, everybody, you know where to find us tomorrow. I'm back here with Connor. We're going to break down some film, deep dive some stuff, do that. Wednesday, we'll be back on here again, deep dive some stuff, do a little look forward. Tomorrow, though, hit us up with any things you want me to watch on film. We're going Instagram Live. We'll be on here at 2 p.m. YouTube. You said, I don't know why I said Instagram Live.
We'll see. We don't know if we have that one in the bag.
But
Definitely YouTube.
Live. That's what I meant to say. All right? All right, everybody. You know where to find us. Peace out. Subscribe, rate, review. Connor, you the man.
Great stuff,
Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
We'll see everybody tomorrow. Peace out.